everybody. We're presenting from Del Mar College.
And we will be demonstrating the rib series
with a total of 6 projections. Hi everyone, my name's Ruth and I will be demonstrating AP ribs above and below diaphragm. I have set up my technique for an 80 kV, the small focal spot, and I have also selected the vertical bucky. This is Miss Monica and she will be my patient today. So I'm going to have Miss Monica come this way. And at this point, I have my tube at 40-inch SID, and you can also do this at 72-inch SID to reduce the magnification of the ribs. I have made sure that my tube and my wall bucky are aligned, and I have put my IR crosswise. My collimation is at 14 by 17, and at this time I'm going to make sure that my patient is centered, that the CR is mid-sagittal to the patient, and right here, just like that. We want our CR to be 3 to 4 inches below the jugular notch, which is also about the level of T7. So right here, you can see that you can feel the jugular notch, and we're going to go about 3 to 4 inches below that. Just like that. And we will collimate just a little bit. Make sure you don't clip the top ribs. Okay, I'm going to make sure that the patient is mid-sagittal again, that I do not over collimate to make sure that I don't clip. I will be putting my marker also. And make sure that the bucky and the IR are at the same level. At this time, I'm going to put the shield in front of the patient. Have the patient roll her shoulders forward, pick up her shin. And I am going to ask the patient to take a deep breath in. Let it out. Take one more deep breath in. And hold it, and this is where we expose. You can breathe. Okay, and then I will be demonstrating the AP below diaphragm ribs. Hi everyone, now I am demonstrating the AP below diaphragm ribs, and this projection is better demonstrated in the supine position if the patient is able to. So I have Miss Monica laying down in the supine position. I have my tube at 40-inch SID. I have set up my technique at 90 kV, 10 mass, and I have selected my table bucky. I also made sure that the tube is detented. My IR is placed crosswise, and it's a 14 by 17 IR. I've made sure that the tube and the IR, the table bucky are all aligned. Okay, so now I have that ready. I make sure that the patient is straight, that there's no rotation at all. Now that the tube and the table bucky are aligned. We just move the patient by moving the table. So I make sure that the CR is mid-sagittal. And we will be placing the CR at the xiphoid process to demonstrate ribs from 9 through 12. You start with the collimation of 14 by 17, and then you collimate down to the patient's size. Make sure there's no extra light. The patient's making sure that all the patient's ribs are in the light field. Nothing will be collimated. Make sure that the CR again is mid-sagittal. This projection is taken on expiration. We place our marker, place a shield. Okay, now we ask the patient to take a deep breath in, let it out. Take one more deep breath in, let it out, hold it out, don't breathe, and we expose. And then we ask the patient to breathe. And we are done with the AP above and below diaphragm projections. Okay, I just wanted to note that before the exam started, the patient was asked to change into a gown and remove all artifacts from the waist up. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Monica and I'll be demonstrating the AP unilateral ribs above diaphragm as well as below diaphragm. We have set our technique to 80 kV, wall bucky, and the small focal spot. This is our patient Clarissa. She's going to be helping me demonstrate. So we're going to go ahead and call her back into the room. Go ahead and stand against the board with your back against it. And before the exam, we'll have the patient change it to a gown, as well as remove any jewelry or anything that would appear as artifact above the waist. We have a 40-inch SID and a 14 by 17 IR lengthwise. And I've already made sure that my tube and bucky are aligned. For this demonstration, we're going to go ahead and use the left side as the area of interest. You can do left or right depending on the patient's injury. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and have Clarissa move over to the right side. We want to be midway between her mid-sagittal plane and the lateral side of her ribs. So I think we're about good there. We're going to go ahead and collimate side to side. We do want to include the spine, so you don't want to clip that off, as well as top to bottom. And we're going to make sure our marker is in the light field. And I'm going to move this shield right in front of our patient. So go ahead and take a deep breath in. Let it out. Another deep breath in. And hold it in. Don't breathe. This projection will be taken on inspiration. Go ahead and breathe. And just a reminder, this projection demonstrates the posterior ribs. If the injury is the anterior ribs, we can do a PA projection for this study. Next, I will be demonstrating the AP below ribs. Okay, so now we're back and we're going to be demonstrating the unilateral ribs below diaphragm. This position is best demonstrated if in the supine position if patient condition allows. So I've already had Clarissa lay on the table for us. I'm going to go ahead and place this shield on her, as well as make sure that she is aligned and straight, and she appears to be. Our SID is going to be 40 inches and a 14 by 17 IR lengthwise. And I've already made sure that our tube and bucket are aligned. For this projection, we're going to demonstrate the Clarissa's right side. So we're going to start about the level of the xiphoid. So we're going to go towards Clarissa's right side. And again, we want to be midway between her mid-sagittal plane and the lateral side of her ribs. And then we can go ahead and collimate down. Top to bottom, we don't want to clip the bottom side of her ribs. And side to side, we want to make sure to still include the spine. So we still have some light on her side there. Okay, so I'm going to place my right marker. And ask this patient to take a deep breath in and let it out and hold it out. This projection will be taken on expiration, and go ahead and breathe.
Hi, I'm Clarissa, and I'm going to be demonstrating the above and below oblique ribs. I've gone ahead and set up our control panel to have an 80 kV. Our wall bucky will be used for the first demonstration, and our small focal spot for these oblique positions. Ruth will be my patient today, so I will ask her to come in. And if you can place your back against the board. We are using a 40-inch SID today with a 14 by 17 lengthwise IR. I've gone ahead and made sure everything was aligned, the wall bucky to the tube. For the posterior obliques, that is mainly focusing on the posterior ribs. If the area of injury is in the anterior ribs, then we would be doing the anterior obliques. So I'll ask Ruth to place her arm above her head, her right arm above her head, and her left arm behind her. I'm going to make sure that the central ray is in the correct location, which is 3 to 4 inches below the jugular notch. So I'm going to go down just a little bit. I'm going to focus on the right side, so I'm going to make sure that the central ray is midway between her mid-sagittal plane and her lateral rib margins. Okay, so at this time I'm going to go ahead and ask Ruth to rotate 45 degrees. Again, the area of interest is on her right posterior ribs. I'm going to collimate because we have a lot of light on the top, so we want to make sure that we're just x-raying the area of injury, but not clipping anything. So we want to collimate also side to side, but still include the spine, which that should take care of everything. And I'll just have her move over just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and shield Ruth and make sure we mark everything correctly. So right marker for right oblique. Again, these projections are taken on inspiration, so I'm going to ask Ruth to take a deep breath in and out. And one more time, take a deep breath in and hold it. We're going to expose, and the patient can go ahead and take a breath. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the below diaphragm posterior obliques. This projection is best done in the supine position as long as the patient is able to do so. I've gone ahead and, again, using the 40-inch SID, increased KV to 90, detented everything, made sure everything was aligned, my tube to my table bucky. I placed my right marker, being that it's the right posterior oblique. For this one, I'll be using 45-degree sponges because I will have to have Ruth rotate 45 degrees on her right side. So if you can place your left arm over your shoulder, your chest, bend your left leg, and then we're going to roll you over towards me. My hands are very cold. Okay, place those behind her for support. And same as we did the last one, we're going to go ahead and concentrate on the right side. So we're going to center the center ray halfway between the xiphoid process and her lower costal margin. So that will be about right there. And once again, we want to collimate all the areas of interest only. So her ribs end about right there, and then we want to collimate side to side, but still including the spine. And we could probably have you just right there. She's a little bit straighter. Okay. We will show the patient once again. And these are done on expiration, so the patient will take a deep breath in and out. One more time, deep breath in and out. And hold it, expose, go ahead and breathe. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video.
We hope you have found these demonstrations informative.
We hope you like these bloopers.
I'm going to go ahead and concentrate on the right side and cut.
And go ahead and breathe.
Stand with your with your back against.
And we are going to collimate in. We have a lot of light above the shoulder, so we're going to go ahead and make sure that that's brought in a little bit. And then again,
Oh.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and position her to her right side cut.
We will be demonstrating at least ribs 1 through 10. We also need to put our marker.
I'm sorry.
Hi everyone. Now I will be demonstrating the AP below diaphragm ribs. I have set up my tube. Put it.
Hold on, can we stop?
And we ask the patient to remove any artifacts above the waist.
So we're gonna concentrate on the right side, making sure that the central ray is not on your jugular vein. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video.
We hope you have found these demonstrations